Welcome to Wisdom Talk Radio, a collaborative community of explorers in conscious living. Imagine, if you will, that there is one fundamental formula to show how the universe works. And first of all, what would that even mean? And then, what are the implications for how you live your life and for what is possible? And so much more. Join me and my guest today and prepare for your mind to be blown open and to be able to also leap beyond your horizons. So stay right here. And I want to welcome you. I'm Laurie Seymour, host of Wisdom Talk Radio and CEO and founder of the Baca Institute, home of the quantum connection process. Go there to discover your unique connection with the essence of who you are by taking the quantum connection quiz. We are each designed to directly connect with Source differently in our own unique way. And knowing your own style opens a deeper connection with the universe. It's the secret to creating what you truly want in your life, because you are exactly who is needed. I'm eager for this conversation today with my guest. It is quantum physicist and string theorist, Dr. Rulin Xiu, whose life work has been pursuing and sharing the Grand Unification Theory, a theory that uses one mathematic formula to explain everything. Her cutting-edge breakthrough research helps integrate science and spirituality at the fundamental level. It leads to an advanced quantum information system that can help people transform at a deeper level, not only physical sickness, but also emotional, mental, and spiritual challenges, as well as relationship, financial, intellectual, and really every aspect of life. Dr. Xiu is a certified Grandmaster teacher and practitioner and a co-founder of Tao Science and co-author of the books Tao Science and Soul Mind Body Science System with world-renowned spiritual healer, Dr. and Master Zhigang Shah, who was a previous guest on this show, by the way, and author of the book Divine Love. Welcome, Rulin. I am so looking forward to our conversation, even more now that we had this little pre-conversation and some of the things you already said to me.
Thank you so much, Laurie, for inviting me, give me the honor to be with you and to share with your audience and listeners. Yeah, thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you for being willing to be on the show. We probably should start with, nothing is simple and everything is. I mean, that's my awareness right now. And you just shared before we started the recording, something about how you can explain scientifically everything, every kind of spiritual wisdom. And so that's just like opens the gate so completely wide open. And yet I feel like I want to give some kind of foundation so people can, maybe have something to hang on to with their intellect. And perhaps a place to begin is when you talk about Grand Unification Theory and how you've been on that journey around this foundational formula. Can you say a little about that to give us some ground to walk on?
Yes. So I start with, I was teenager, and so I was grew up very good at science, and both my parents and school, my teachers all pushed me going to one of the science top college in China on the science and technology. Mm-hmm. So be trained as a scientist, and so in the college. I was, when I'm studying the physics, I was in the physics department. Mm-hmm. And so I was, learning about quantum physics. I was reading about Einstein's work, and it just got the inspiration that from the Einstein and also other brilliant scientists, this dream to find this one mathematical formula to explain everything. So that somehow really just catch my my imagination, my my dream. Somehow that just become I somehow at that moment I just realized this is something I come to this life to do. I need to find this mathematical formula and to unify everything I do. And at that time, this is such a huge dream. Einstein cannot get it. A lot of brilliant scientists, they cannot get it. So I dare not tell other people this is my dream, but also at the heart, I know that is exactly what I come to this life for. So I worked extremely hard and in a college, and then later went to UC Berkeley, University of California in Berkeley, and studied string theory, use it as one of the way to get the Grand Unification Theory. So I got my PhD in UC Berkeley and then went on in a postdoc in Houston Advanced Research Center and also went to Harvard, continued the research, but for a long time, I couldn't really find the Grand Unification Theory that I'm happy with.
And let me interrupt you for one moment. So Grand Unification, meaning bringing together and explaining all that is.
Exactly. In physics, it's very specific. It's basically writing one mathematical formula that can express quantum physics, all the elementary particles, all the forces. Right now, we have a formula for electromagnetic weak and strong force, and then there's separate mathematical formula for gravity. So this is a two very separate theory. So how to write one mathematical formula, one mathematics system to bring all them together. So that has been challenged right now. So that is the one thing we're trying to accomplish. But that is so I work on that for a long time, and like many other even more brilliant scientists, we couldn't get the satisfactory answer, solution for that. At least I wasn't very happy with. So actually, out of despair, actually, I gave up physics, moved to Hawaii. So and then in Hawaii, I started to have my spiritual awakening, and so that, and then I started to learn the spiritual wisdom and the spiritual healing from Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha, and so he's teaching about spiritual healing, the soul healing at that time he calls, and so in one of his workshop, I suddenly get an aha moment that. Because he was talking about a soul, I often think about, what is a soul? Can we scientifically study the soul? Can we scientifically explain what soul is? And so in one of his workshops, I suddenly had this aha moment. I suddenly realized, yes, we can scientifically study the soul. We can even mathematically study the soul. And so that is my aha moment and breakthrough. And with that insight together, we wrote the book, Soul, Mind, Body, Science System. And also, and then later, after finish that book, I wrote this book. Study the soul, but also actually the Tao here is the source. So at the beginning of your talk, you mentioned about the source, right? And the divine. And so this is actually science about the source. So this book, we literally shows that we can even mathematically, using science to study this, the source. Okay, how each one of us is created from the source.
So talk about that. How?
How what?
How are we created? How are we? Because I want to talk to you about, that gives us a whole arc that we can explore. So thinking about the soul, what is the quantum theory of the soul?
Yeah. So basically we in the Tao science. So Tao science has the 4 laws. The first law is called the law of matter, information, and matter, energy, and information. So basically, we give a new interpretation to quantum physics because actually, in a sense, up to very recently, there's still people don't have a true understanding about what Tao's quantum physics really teaches us, and so when we published quite a few papers on this and really give a new interpretation about what really quantum physics is teaching us about our reality and what is the metaphysical meaning of quantum physics. So what we find is that what really quantum physics is teaching us is that this world, everyone, everything is not as solid as we look. Actually, everyone, everything is a quantum vibrational field made of vibrations. Vibration is basically periodic oscillations, and in quantum physics, you literally you can calculate what kind of vibration in each of the objects. And then, so what we propose is that quantum physics studies this quantum vibrational field, which is basic ingredients of everyone, everything. And also this vibrational field carries 3 things. So one thing is the matter. Matter is something we can touch, what we can see, what we can hear, what we can experience, right? So this basically this physical reality is the matter.
Okay.
And then second is the energy. Energy is what moves and changes the matter. So we need energy to move around, drive our car, right? So that is very obvious. And the third one is the information. So information is what informs. So information gives the form and shape to energy and matter. So information, like for example, the information in the bank, in the database determines how much money you can get out of your bank. Right. So that little piece of information determines your physical reality.
So
right?
can we
do what you cannot do?
Okay. Can we are you using information in this way to also think about how I might say it is about decoding the energy that we might receive or that we might experience?
Yeah. So it's basically determines the form, shape.
It's like the data bank, the data bank.
Exactly. In codes, which determines every aspect of your life. When are you going to die? What kind of relationships you're going to have? What kind of success you're going to have? How you feel? Why you react to certain people in certain way? All those information is your quantum field.
Okay. But more than that, here, let me just say a little of what I'm thinking. Because I work with energy and I work with energy transmissions, and that as that happens and as someone receives an energy transmission, so they have a particular experience of that and they are receiving that number 2 on your list, the perhaps new energy systems, and then you need to see what that even means. What does that mean in my life? How does that change my life? How does that change me? What are the directions that come with that? I mean, that's part of the information.
Exactly. So information is what determines the shape and form of the energy. So by information, energy, and matter, they are one. In quantum physics, you can use one mathematic formula to describe all 3 of them. So they're just a different 3 aspects of the one thing. So everything has information, energy, and matter.
So everyone and everything. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you have information, you also have energy, but you also have physical form as well.
Right. So then, but the soul, how does that come in? How are you measuring the soul? What does that look like?
So basically the soul is basically the content of the information in your quantum field. And also the spiritual heart is receiver of the information, and the mind is a processor of the information. So this way, so we can give the soul, spiritual heart, and the mind in a scientific definition in Tao science.
Wow. I love it.
And then with this definition, we can mathematically study them because we can calculate the information, in your quantum field.
Give me an example, because if you can give me an example of that, of how that looks, of how that would work.
Yeah, for example, the simplest case, if imagine a hydrogen atom, right? This atom. And so from the hydrogen atom, the structure, you can literally calculate what is the vibration of the hydrogen atom is, right? The vibrational field. So literally in quantum physics, that's what you learn how to do that calculation. And then after you do the calculation, you know the vibrational field, then you can calculate what kind of information in this hydrogen atom. And you can also calculate what kind of information this hydrogen atom can receive and emit.
Okay.
Also, how this hydrogen atom can process any information, energy, and matter, of the environment.
So if we take that into a person, though, how to speak to that? Because the simplest is one piece of that, but then, as people are listening, as people are watching, I'm sure they're thinking about that. Well, how does this relate to me? How do we calculate my soul?
So each one of us contains many hydrogen atoms, also actually many different kind of atoms, right? Molecules, organs, cells, right? And including we have done many, we have a lot of actions we have done, we have a lot of life experiences, right? And, we have marriage, careers, and we go to schools. So all of those actions also, they create the information and the vibrations. So each one of us so each of our structure, so each one of us in our quantum field, we contains many kind of informations. We also have some structures, our cells, organs, and they can absorb certain vibrations and also emit certain vibrations, and so basically that information in our field is our soul, and so that information also directs how we react to things, right? How we behave things, and how we make certain decisions, and how we find certain things attractive and other things we kind of don't think attractive, and it literally determines that is so information determines every aspect of our life. And
does it bring into the equation, into the formulation, anything we may have experienced before we've come into this physical body?
Yeah, exactly. So so before we come to this physical body, there are certain informations from your previous soul, your where you come from, and also from your parents, their soul carries certain informations, so when you are born, those information is also part of your information. And you carry and not only your parents' information, but also your ancestor, because this is a quantum field, so we're connected with our ancestors. And so all those their field is also inside of us. So their information, their soul can affect our life.
And so are you also then teaching people how to decode that, how to connect with that field? I mean, my work is around connecting people with their inner guidance system, or part of it, and so that they can access that guidance directly. So that's a question too, I guess, is about one's capacity to access direct guidance from that greater field, from the quantum field.
Exactly.
Because the quantum field contains it all.
Exactly. So when we die, right, and our physical body stop functioning, but that field is still there, and the
Right.
information in the field still exists. That's why our soul can still keep going.
Yes.
So
Okay.
our soul has a much bigger life, a magnificent journey. It has its own purpose, and so our physical life is just our soul just use this body to learn certain things. So our this physical life is for the soul to learn, to experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is why we need to connect with our soul to find that, like you said, find that guidance.
Yeah.
Because if our soul is not doing what soul is wanted in our physical life, we're not doing what our soul wants to do, you'll find your life is meaningless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Things
you
just
will
don't
not
work.
be, yeah, it does not work. Either your soul is actually going to purposely make some disasters for you to stop you, or even the soul can even make you die, because
Mm-hmm.
soul don't find it's meaningful anymore,
Yeah.
and to, yes, and so if you can, like what you're teaching is very valuable. If you can somehow connect with your soul, find the soul's guidance, you will see your life can become more prosperous and also more successful. You feel more fulfilled, more happy, and more, have more purpose
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
meaning. Mhm.
And my sensing is that, and my experience is that the soul is more than personal. In other words, it goes beyond the personal because it is part of that quantum field,
Right.
and
So
so
we
it
call it
has
as
that access to
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
wholeness.
Yeah, exactly. So in our quantum theory of consciousness, we find in Dao science, we find there's a universal quantum vibrational field, which
Yes.
we're all part of,
Mm-hmm.
and so the purpose of the soul is actually become one with all of this, to be able
Mm-hmm.
to, to grow its own knowledge and presence, to
Mm-hmm.
become one with this whole unified universal vibrational field
Yes.
or source field.
Or
Yeah.
source field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we are already one with it. It just the soul want to become more access to this unified field, become have greater wisdom, greater power, and
Mm-hmm.
greater presence. And that is the soul's purpose.
Well, yes. Okay. Yes. So there's something that happens when we are born where we
Mhm.
forget. We
Mhm.
forget that that's our purpose. We forget that there is that connection. We forget that we are part of that
Mhm.
universal field.
Yes. Yeah.
What is that in your whole way of in your unified theory?
Yeah. So it is because of our um it's because of negative information right now existing. We call it negative information existing in each one of us, in your soul,
Mm-hmm.
um, your mind, in your body, and also the negative information exists for humanity in general, and for our community, for our country. So all this, that's blocking us to access that unified universal vibrational field. So negative information in the Dao science called disconnection. So when we if our soul are selfish,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, or just think about ourselves, or we have done, so any kind of selfishness and ego that
Mm-hmm.
separate us from this unified field.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
also our society right now contains so much negativities,
Yeah.
judgment, discrimination, that just to make us be separated from our, even
Exactly.
our own soul and
Yeah.
from each other. So we call this negative information. So that is why, our teacher Master Sha is really trying to create different technologies to
Mm-hmm.
help people remove those negative informations, so that you become more connected with your soul and with the source.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in that, everything changes. So
Exactly.
it brings me to the next piece is around love and the Not emotional love, but the frequency of love, the vibration of unconditional love.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So that is also, for us. So it's not just the love that is within us. It's actually more important to realize there is a source, right? Source in the Tao science, also in quantum physics, is this emptiness. Emptiness in quantum, if you really study quantum physics, and in the quantum physics, the emptiness is not really empty, it's not nothingness.
Right.
So there's infinite possibilities, matters, energy, and information can pop up from the emptiness and also going back. So emptiness actually contains infinite matter, energy, and information. And so emptiness, the source, is infinite love. And so when each one of us can connect with the source, so anything we want, we are being ultimately loved, protected, and supported. So one of the key, I think, for humanity to realize, for each one of us to realize, is each one of us is infinitely, unlimitedly, unconditionally loved, protected, and supported by infinite source. So connect with that love. When we can connect with that love, then everything's possible.
And that is, that is true because we are part of that. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, we are that, not just part of it. We are that.
Yeah, we are that. We create from that, and also that is the inside of us and the outside of us, and we are also part of it too. Yeah. So this is something for us to understand, for us to awaken to. And I think if all of humanity can realize this kind of scientific knowledge and wisdom, and also spiritual wisdom, knowledge for thousands of years, then I think the difficulties, challenges, disasters, catastrophes, and wars can be prevented.
It's almost like those are all, including illness, is all that different lower frequency. And
it's all a separation.
A different vibration, exactly. And as we, in our consciousness, develop and raise our frequency, raise our vibration, that's not what's created. Would you say that fits with how you see things?
Yeah, for me, it's more like, if you can, so negative information make us not be able to connect with this, infinite love, abundance, joy, success. Which is the source has already created for us. So because our own selfishness, ignorance, and the ego, also we cannot connect with this infinite love, right? And we cannot receive from it. And so if you can remove this separation, remove the negative information, which is a disconnection, and then be able to really connect, then you can receive it. And then everything's possible.
Everything's possible because the infinite is infinite.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So tell me a little about how you work with that, how you work with that removal of the negative information, opening people up to that bigger experience. Yeah.
First is to understand this kind of wisdom. And then second is so we have Master Sha had brought the Tao technology, source technology, to help people to connect with the source field. And remove the negative information, remove the disconnection. So like what you're teaching people to be able to connect with that is that higher self, right? And to connect with the source. And so we have technologies, which is one of technology is this Tao calligraphy, right? And so this is to help people to remove the negative information. So that Tao calligraphy is Master Sha create them. I also one of the teacher. I can create the Tao calligraphy as well. And so when we create the Tao calligraphy master shop, connect with the source and bring the source positive information, energy, and matter. And so when we connect with Tao calligraphy, our negative information, this connection can be removed. And then we can connect with the source at a much greater scale, because everyone we have innate ability to connect with the source. It's all because our negativity that is,
because we've forgotten.
Disconnection. Disconnection. It's basically ego and ignorance and selfishness make us separate from the source. So if you so our channel is very small, so Tao calligraphy literally can help you enhance your channel to receive from the source.
I love that, because I'm working with that in my own way. And by the way, if people are listening to this rather than watching the video, what Rulin is showing us is behind her is the Tao calligraphy. So you might pop over and watch the video, because first of all, it's really quite beautiful. And is it the viewing of it? My experience was that it's also experiencing it as it's being drawn.
So connect with the calligraphy is so you can just feel it, right? Or we can trace this. And also I can turn down as because I'm my own, turn on to give you a blessing. So I can give you a blessing and then you can experience it. How is that?
Absolutely. You
can make a request, or you can just want to. So this one is called Greatest Love. So I can have this greatest love, Tao calligraphy, give you a blessing. So the greatest love, of course, is the source love. And so this calligraphy can help you to open your heart and your soul, your mind and your body and the energy field to feel the source love. If you want, I can.
Yes, that sounds like a perfect thing to have happen. And so as you're doing this with me, but people can experience this themselves, right? Listening and watching. So maybe if you're driving and listening to this, you might want to pull over.
Exactly. But it's also can be very safe. I remember, when I drive, I literally connect with the calligraphy, and so it does not make you out of the way. It's actually
so it's not about you having to close your eyes, and it's just allowing yourself to receive, and actually maybe even before you do it, if you could talk a little bit about receiving, because I've always seen the act of receiving to be so important, the ability to receive, because what you're receiving is that source love. So, but from a scientific perspective, what would you say about that, one's ability or the importance of receiving?
I want to thank you for asking this question, because this is so important. This is very, very important. This is also what so many people has missing in life. They don't know how to receive. They don't receive. They just focus on struggling. Right?
That was certainly me. That's why it's so important to me.
Exactly. Learn how to receive. Then I realized that is actually the most important thing in life. And so how to receive from a Tao science point of view, to receive. So we have the soul, which is the content information of our quantum field, and also spiritual heart in Tao science is a receiver of the information and also vibration. So when you turn on our spiritual heart, but what is spiritual heart? Spiritual heart is a receiver, but what is a receiver? In fact, it's this whole body. Can resonate, can receive from the source. And the way to receive it, the key is, to first find out why we cannot receive, right? So the reason we cannot receive, and so in Tao science it teaches us, is our own duality mind. So we make a judgment, right? We discriminate, right? And we attach or detach. So this kind of duality, consciousness, which is a kind of most humanity have, make us become separate from the source, because source is a unity. Source is oneness. Source does not make any judgment or distinction.
It's not right or wrong.
Exactly. Source loves everyone as secret and divine. You know what I mean? A source don't judge you. It doesn't, they will not think you made a mistake, you know.
Oh, I made a bad one with that one.
Exactly. Source does not think that way, you know what I mean? And it's empty, right?
Yeah.
And so we need to be like that.
Yeah.
And then to be in that, we need to let go of distinction, need judgment about ourselves, about other people, and just open up to be aware, observe, and feel. And at this moment, our body is our vehicle, the channel to receive the source. So, the body is, we actually create this physical body that become our prison, actually, right? Because of our own judgment, because of our attachment, detachment. So this body is all, it's our vehicle to receive, and it's also so through using this vehicle to receive, we can also letting go of this disconnection that created by this body, and then we can finally be free and go back to our true self. Yeah.
I feel like I'm almost sitting on the edge of my seat, because you're saying things in your own way that so mirror my own experience and and how I've been taught and my own teachings. And you do it in such a way that it brings a whole other level of clarity to it.
Yeah, so that's power of science,
Yeah, exactly. And you were brought into the sciences so that you could do this, so that you could make these connections, so that you could build these bridges for us.
Yes, so that we can bring all the tradition together. And I realized different tradition, they just use different words, for the same thing. But of course, they have different words and different approach. But all of them, they have certain wisdoms, they have certain insights. I think the humanity, if we can see, we just all one of the big pie, right? And we're really one. And then we can letting go of the conflict and struggle.
Yeah. And part of the group of people that have been doing this research and study in my work, or in this work that from my teacher, Dawn, one of them is a cellular biologist. And so he has looked at all of this from that perspective.
Oh, beautiful.
And that spiritual heart that you speak so beautifully about. Yes, that is the receiver. And that it's not the intellects, it's not the brain, but it's because the brain and heart and spiritual heart are connected. You then get to receive and, I guess, bring in that wisdom in a whole different way than we have when the head rules the show.
Right. So in our teaching, is the soul is a boss, is giving the information, and then the heart receive according to that information has been given.
Yes.
You give yourself negative information, you're starting to feel depressed, and start to absorbing those kind of energies, right?
But that's how we can tell if something is true or not. True meaning what is of source or not is how we feel. If we don't feel the love, if we feel that judgment, if we feel depressed, that's not truth.
Right. So in the Tao science, when I teach the courses, I really actually teach people how to, like you said, how to receive. The way to so I will share that with you in our practice. So I literally first to guide people, because this body is a receiver, at least at this moment, so I guided people go inside this body to connect with body, utilize this body to resonate, and to resonate and to go inside and be aware, observe, and feel. So in this, and with no judgment. And or if you have judgment, you become aware, observe, and feel your judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So you just letting go, just continue to do that. Just with this technique, I was able to help people release so much pain, trauma, and to be able really to starting to connecting with their secret and divine self.
Yes.
And also the source. Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, exactly. The same thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would be, and it sounds like you would be delighted, I think, to share a blessing with us. That would be just beautiful.
Yeah. So I'll maybe for everyone and also you to know this technique. Yeah. So basically, so if you're driving, don't close your eyes, but if you can sit down and so you can close your eyes. So this will help you to connect with your body. Have a deep breath, breathe into your lower abdomen, and be aware of your breath, and also how the breath go inside your lower abdomen. Also be aware of your breath comes through the nose, and so go inside, be aware, observe, and feel your breath. Notice when you continue breathe in, your lower abdomen expanded, and when you breathe out, lower abdomen contracts. So inhale, be aware, observe your breath. Put your attention in the lower abdomen. Be aware, observe, and feel the breath in your lower abdomen. So do this kind of abdominal breathing at a pace that is comfortable, easy, natural for you. So now I'm going to turn on this, and also when you do the breathing, continue, be aware, observe, feel what's happening inside you. If a thought's coming up, be aware, observe, and feel your thoughts. Emotion come up, be aware, observe, and feel your emotion. And also be aware and observe, where that thoughts, emotion, what kind of sensation they cause inside your body. So be aware, observe, and feel the sensation inside your body. So the more you can be aware, observe, and feel, the more you can actually connect with yourself, connect with the source, and receiving from the source. And so be aware, observe, try to let go of judgment, but if they come up, you be aware of them, observe them, feel them. So be aware, observe, and feel everything that's coming up inside you. So this is a way how you can turn on your receiver to receive from the source. Very simple, but very profound. So now we're going to use the Tao technology, the Tao calligraphy. Tao is the source, calligraphy is the art. So Tao calligraphy is the source transformative art. It creates vibrational field. It's a portal to bring the source positive information, energy, and matter to help us remove our blockages so that we can connect with the source at greater capacity on a higher level, at a higher dimensions. So Tao calligraphy, greatest love, blessing to beloved Laurie, star. So everyone, you can also feel this greatest love vibration. help us to open our heart, to connect with the source and receive from the source, receive the greatest love of the source. The greatest love of the source creates everyone, everything. It's where everyone, everything come from. So when we can connect with greatest love of the source, we can go back to our true self and create everyone, create anything in our life. Going back to the source, greatest love, that is also the purpose of our life too. How? Yes. Yes, so now you can, how was your experience?
It was very beautiful. Right at the beginning, there was this feeling of really of energy coming in, and first of all, first surrounding me, and then it was there was a way that it came in and down and in from my back into the center of my chest cavity, and then that continued, and it continued enveloping me until I felt like I was enrobed, like, and then it went around my head. Oh, I still feel it, even as I go to do that, and such a feeling of well-being through it all. My head is just buzzing, but in a very palpable way. There's a lot in motion. Yeah.
So with this kind of Dao technology, we were able to really help many people to transform their life, to transform the sicknesses, have greater prosperity, wellness. So I'm.
Because you said something in there just towards the end that I had wanted to talk about, and I had the thought of, oh, we didn't get to that, but you touched on it, which is around creation or creativity, and that for me, everything is about how we create, and that we are here to create.
Right.
That we are the creators. As we connect with Source, and create or co-create with that.
Yes.
That's it.
Exactly. That's what our soul, what we come here to do. But it's not create from our ego, and if you create from your ego, it's going to actually damage you or people around you sooner or later, but if you create through connection with a source, then that benefits everyone, expands everyone, everything,
including you.
Exactly. Especially you yourself.
And I think of ego because my background is as psychology, and I was a psychotherapist for many years, and so it's ego, it's personal will. And when we go beyond personal will to embrace something that is more than that, everything in life changes. And this is what you are making possible with the work that you are doing.
And also when you connect with the source for creation, things just become so easy, and the things you can accomplish is like exponentially, infinitely greater. I shared for many years, I studied so hard. I'm trying to find a Grand Unification Theory. I couldn't even find some small Grand Unification Theory, but with the Dao technology now, I hardly work, it's, I just receive, and write books, write papers,
Mm-hmm.
and much easier than before. And what I'm able to do is in a much greater level and scale than before.
Mm. Whew.
Satisfying and mostly more joyful,
Yes.
happy for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Dr. Rulin, I want to have you back as a guest because I'm not finished. Meaning I have more I want to talk with you about, more I want to ask. I've so enjoyed being with you today.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Yeah, thank you for what you're doing, helping so many people to be awakened. Yeah, so this is an era and a time for all of us to awaken to our higher potentials.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what we're here for. So why not get on with it?
Exactly now.
So I thank you. And then I also want to thank our audience for being with us today, our listeners and our viewers for being with us here at Wisdom Talk Radio. Join us here regularly for more wisdom, discovery, and illumination, and occasionally to receive such a blessing like we got to receive today.
Yeah, can I just offer a sound blessing? I kind of feel
Certainly.
like, just very quick, 1 minute.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I just feel I want to offer my love, just express my love. I'm a Dao song singer, so I'd be to send my love to beloved Laurie and my gratitude to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And again, to our listeners, you can find more of what you've experienced today, maybe not more of such a beautiful blessing, but there will be in the show notes where you can find more. And if you've enjoyed listening today, please leave us a review, because that's what helps people to discover us and to access their own wisdom, and ultimately to transform the world, to tap into what our potential is. And for more about how to thrive with your own personal quantum connection, take the Quantum Connection quiz now. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us here at Wisdom Talk Radio. We wish you well in your conscious explorations. For more information and to join in the conversation, our website is wisdomtalkradio.com or at Wisdom Talk Radio on Facebook.